Good morning and nice to meet you. I'm Stefano Bianchi, Research Innovation Manager in Underwood SPA, and I'm here to talk about the TRUSTNOMY project that I coordinate. TRUSTNOMY is a research innovation action of 30 months duration funded by the European Commission. Its consortium includes 16 organizations from 9 countries. The consortium includes a strong representation of research, commercial, and industrial partners, 6 ICT providers, 2 universities, and 4 research institutes, 3 automotive partners, and a member of the Article network. TRUSTNOMY is about building acceptance and trust in autonomous mobility. The vision of TRUSTNOMY, which is a neologism from the combination of trust and autonomy, is to raise the safety, trust, and acceptance of automated vehicles by helping to address technical and non-technical challenges with a well-integrated and interdisciplinary approach, bringing domain experts and ordinary citizens to work closely together. TRUSTNOMY will investigate, set up, test, and comparatively assess, in terms of performance, ethics, and acceptability, different relevant technologies and approaches in a variety of autonomous driving and request to intervene scenarios, covering different types of users, road transport modes, levels of automation, and driving conditions. 7 specific objectives: to develop a methodological framework for the operational assessment of different driver state monitoring systems, to develop a methodological framework for the operational assessment of various HMI designs, to develop an ethical automated decision support framework covering liability concern and risk assessment, to develop novel driver training curricula for human drivers or IDS, to find a driver intervention performance assessment framework, to measure performance, trust, and acceptance of human driver or ADS, and last but not least, to organize the communication exploitation actions and to provide feedback for policy recommendation and contribution to standards. What we focus about? We focused on level 3 and level 4 where ADS performs the dynamic driving task, and specifically on requesting to intervene in the transition of control when the vehicle asks the driver to take control over the vehicle since boundary conditions are reached. As for automation technology assessment, we have 2 pillars: driver state monitoring and HMI design assessment. The driver state monitoring assessment is meant to identify most advanced DSM technologies and functionalities and to define assessment methodology to evaluate heterogeneous DSM technologies in order to provide guidelines, test procedure, and data analytics tools that relies on both quantitative and qualitative indicators. Results so far include the preliminary framework definition, the identification of data providers, for example, efficient intelligence-based video analysis and ground truth for scenarios, an IT infrastructure, benchmark for DMS comparison, and a video-based application prototype release. As for HMI design assessment, we have 2 different approaches: the ergonomic assessment and a time-based approach. As for the ergonomic assessment, we focus on biomedical analysis of dynamic interaction with ADS and HMI in terms, for example, of energy and power on joints that are, let me say, affected by the interaction with the HMI. The satisfactory model test results for dynamic simulation is what we achieved so far. As for the time-based approach instead, where sub-parallel tasks are carried out during the when the request to intervene occurs, we have a preliminary HMI simulator improvements rated high by testers regarding usability. We change the design after testing with the drivers, and a research methodology for the time-based approach that remains valid considering the feedback obtained by the users. As for human factors, we focus on driving training curricula and trust and acceptance measurement framework. For the first one, we want to design novel training curricula for different ADS levels in order to specify the priorities that must be addressed in the courses, to identify different types of vehicles that must be managed, and all of this should be focused for professional and also non-professional drivers. The results achieved so far includes a competence map defined with linked to abilities to be achieved and knowledge to be transferred. We also have a driver training web application prototype available for internal practice with interactive modes. As for the trust and acceptance measurement framework instead, we want to evaluate how situational trust influences how technology is used and accepted. Measuring state trust must be performed in real time to investigate what reduces trust and rebuilds trust during the driving activities, potentially with correlation with physiological measurements. The main focus here is to establish if and how trust is affected by different characteristics of the RTI interface, where RTI is the request to intervene interface, to quantify if trust increases and how on exposure to RTI events, and to understand if trust is negatively affected when experiencing unexpected RTIs. Results achieved so far includes the definition of the experiments in the driving simulators plus the applied sensor, and a questionnaire pack that has been prepared in order to carry out the experimentations. As for the automated vehicle research instead, we have two different pillars as well: automated decision support framework and a driver intervention performance assessment. For the first one, we focus on early warning with risk assessment and emergency trajectory calculation, identifying manual, automated, and an emergency mode where the request to intervene occurs. We developed algorithms that have been tested in simulated environments, and we prepared also some research papers. As for the DPA, which is not yet standardized and harmonized, the focus is on validating the driver if the driver is able to safely intervene after the request to intervene has been sent by the vehicles, and to assess the takeover quality. So far, we selected the 15 objectives and 5 subjective measures in order to evaluate the DPA, plus several criteria from the literature to be added to these measures. We developed some algorithms for the training validation methodology, and we also developed a preliminary prototype using some initial data sets. We also had some advancements as for the standardization and contribution to standardization, with a draft position paper on simulation and technologies for the SM testing and validation, prepared for the Euro NCAP working groups. What is now in the next period? We will now focus on pilots and trials to see if these 6 pillars and frameworks that we developed can be applied, how can be applied, and to gather feedback on their quality. We have several complementary pilots and trial bases all around Europe, Poland and Finland, United Kingdom, France, and Italy. We will use driving simulator and different type of vehicles in order to assess our advancements. The TRUSTNOMY impacts in the medium-long term are focused on different types of end users. We want to provide multiple methodological industrial innovation towards the integration of higher level automation in transport, and this is mainly for the automotive industry, to promote the user acceptance and trust in innovative and highly automated transport systems for society, citizens and drivers in particular. We want to achieve a better driver awareness and skills improvement in partially automated scenarios where the request to intervene is meant to occur, and this is for ADS technology provider. And of course, as anticipated, we also want to provide a valuable contribution to standardization and policy making in order to support the activity of standardization bodies, public authority, government, and all the stakeholders included in the ADS domain. This was a quick presentation of the results. Having 6 different pillars and frameworks, as you can see, the project is quite rich and quite articulated. We're supposed to have a great second period. We just closed the first half of the project. If you want to know more about our achievements and results, please follow us on the main social channel. Get in contact with us, get involved. We have a panel, we have a stakeholder advisory board. If you want to discuss with us about ADS technologies and advancement, we are here for you. Thank you very much for watching.